So there's a big controversy between the U.S. House rep from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, and a state rep from Texas, James Talarico, over a Stephen Colbert interview featuring Talarico that did not get aired on air. And I never thought I'd find myself in a situation to defend Jasmine Crockett, but here I am. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the controversy between the U.S. House rep from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, and the state rep from Texas, James Talarico, over a CBS Stephen Colbert interview featuring Talarico that did not get aired on television. It did get put on YouTube and X.com, aka Twitter, where it's doing really well, millions of views. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. But here's what happened. So Stephen Colbert's show had on James Talarico and interviewed him. In the interview, they said, well, hey, this can't go on TV because Donald Trump, because the FCC are afraid. They're nervous that he's going to do so well, he's going to wow the audience, that we can't have him on TV. So they sicked the FCC on him. That's not exactly true. Let me explain something about the way the FCC works. If you have a TV station and you are able to transmit your signal over the airwaves, and I or any of us can capture that for free with an antenna on the back of the TV, you have an FCC license. And you must maintain your FCC license by following certain guidelines. One of these guidelines of many is that if you have on a political person, you must give them equal time. So if you interview James Talarico, you must also interview Jasmine Crockett. Now, some are going to say, well, ABL, talk shows are exempt. I'm not sure if that's true, but I know what the FCC law is. Now, before I go any further, let's get to a few clips. First, we got news. Then we're going to get into the reaction from Jasmine. We're going to get into the piece of that interview from James Talarico. And of course, everything will be in the box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
A Texas-sized drama for Democrats with Stephen Colbert in the middle as early voting begins in the high-stakes primary contest for U.S. Senate. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino. Bill Hemmer's off today, and here's to my other Bill. Hello.
You still get a bill today, Dana.
That's right.
Good morning to you. I'm Bill Malugin. Democrats are hoping to flip Texas blue. They've been wanting to do that for a while now. And they're pouring big bucks into this crowded contest to unseat Senator John Cornyn, making this one of the most expensive Senate primary races.
Stephen Colbert claims CBS blocked him from broadcasting an interview with one of those candidates by warning it would trigger the FCC's equal time rule.
You know who is not one of my guests tonight? That's Texas State Representative James Talarico. He was supposed to be here, but we were told in no uncertain terms by our network's lawyers, who called us directly, that we could not have him on the broadcast.
And Mark Meredith is in Washington with more on all of this, and this show's getting more attention now than it ever has before.
Yeah, Dana, it's a shame it's not sweeps right now because you can imagine the ratings that would be coming out of this. Stephen Colbert is a short timer at CBS, but his decision to interview Democratic Senate candidate James Talarico over the network concerns may have a long-term impact on both Texas and this year's midterm races. This all started Monday. Colbert says CBS bosses told him he could not broadcast an interview with Talarico over concerns about the FCC's equal time rule, which requires political candidates get equal time on broadcast TV. Talk shows have been exempted for years. CBS is denying that it ever issued any such orders. Well, Colbert says he's still obliged, taking the interview off TV, posting it online. Well, it went viral, and now he's mocking CBS efforts of damage control.
I'm not a lawyer, and I don't want to tell them how to do their jobs. But since they seem intent on telling me how to do mine, here we go. I don't even know what to do with this crap. Oh, hold on.
This TV drama is boosting Talarico's campaign. It reports raising more than $2 million over the last 24 hours. Timing matters as early voting is underway in Texas.
It's going to take all of us to pull off this feat of winning Texas, but it is doable. I'm seeing it on the ground.
Talarico's main opponent, Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, says she's too busy focusing on turnout instead of TV. It's notable she said that on television, but her comments come as Democrats vow to spend $30 million to flip the traditionally solid red state blue.
A lot of people are like, there's no way Texas can do this. And I'm here to tell you that even on day one of early voting, we are exploding with participation right now.
Republicans have a primary underway, too. Incumbent Senator John Cornyn is fighting for his political career against two challengers, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Congressman Wesley Hunt. This race is getting a lot of attention among the GOP, but President Trump, who's aware of what's going on, has not made an endorsement in this contest. Dana.
We're paying attention to all of it. Thanks, Mark.
Now you can see right here, this is James Talarico's X page where he's talking about raising $2.5 million in 24 hours after the FCC banned his Colbert interview. Did the FCC ban the interview? I don't think so. That's not what happened. The lawyers allegedly called Colbert and said, hey, you can't do that because you're going to violate the equal time rule. Now, you could just interview Jasmine Crockett and it'd be okay. You could put that on TV and hers on TV. But since they didn't want to do that, they just made a whole big stink about it. Put his interview on YouTube and social media where it blew up more than it would have on television. Now, here is a piece of that interview that the FCC, quote unquote, blocked, although we know they didn't. Check it out.
James Talarico.
I got to pause for copyright because they love doing copyright claims because they don't like guys like me talking about them and exposing their lies. But I digress.
Thank you. Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Talarico.
Let's pause. Now, they're trying to laugh at YouTube and say that it's not nothing, trying to dismiss it or whatever. But again, if not for social media, then this interview wouldn't have gotten as many views as it got. Okay, it just wouldn't have.
Do you mean to cause trouble?
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas.
They go the same old talking points. And you know what? One thing you can identify somebody that watches too much left news, too much television, if they say Donald Trump, the whole name. Like, nobody says that. They always say Obama, Clinton, Bush, Gore, Reagan. They don't say Donald Trump. That's something that they do on the left to try and brainwash you into negative feelings about the president. Now, let's keep going. Here's what Jasmine Crockett said in response. And she had a pretty intelligent response, in my humble opinion. Check it out.
We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It is our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided that they would skip on the hearing. And this was because of a fear that the FCC may say something to them, and that there may have been advice to just have me on, and then they could clear the issue. It was my understanding that someone somewhere decided we just don't want to do that, and instead we're going to just do it this way.
Of course. Now look,
Fine.
It's really crazy how they're treating her. And let's just talk about this with some right here. This kind of reminds me of what happened to Kamala. Kamala had no chance. She had no business being out there. They just threw her out there knowing she was going to lose. It's the same thing with Jasmine Crockett. She has no ability to win. The Democrats don't want her. They're putting all of their money behind James Talarico, and they're doing stuff like this. You see, they could have just interviewed Jasmine Crockett and Talarico, and they could have put both interviews on air. But the better strategic decision for the Democrats, for CBS, for Stephen Colbert, for the establishment was to make it be this big controversy, try to blame Trump and then direct all of the people who were angry about what Trump allegedly did, although we didn't do it, to social media to watch the interview there to make his name bigger than what it is. Because let's be all the way clear, and I'm not a Jasmine Crockett fan, but I got to defend her here. She is the bigger name than James Talarico. Most of you guys watching know who Jasmine Crockett is. Love her or hate her, it doesn't matter. You know what she is, but you don't know who he is. And the purpose of what they did was to make that flip by using her name, really, because you know who that is. Okay, Jasmine Crockett. Okay. Now, since she's involved and then Trump's involved, let's shift all of that energy into James Talarico to make him be bigger than what he is, because the objective, again, is to flip that seat from red to blue. And the Democrats are going to do that, in their opinion, by any means necessary. Now, as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Hey, they're telling you they don't want you to do this. They're literally telling you that. You might as well just go ahead and drop out right now, because this won't be the end. They're going to keep on doing this. It's your own party, and you can't overcome the corruption in your own party. I would say just do a little bit of soul searching and figure out if you want to do this. Do you want to try to be a senator? Do you want to stay a House rep? Do you want to stay a Democrat? Do you want to keep this ideology? Because it's not going to take you anywhere. You're going to lose. And I don't wish any kind of negativity on you, but I see where this whole thing is going. I see light at the end of the tunnel, and the light does not have a good space for you, unfortunately. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about the Jasmine Crockett, James Talarico kerfuffle? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. It's really bad how they treating her. Same thing they did with Kamala, treating her like garbage, going out there to lose. And that's a black woman too. Where are the Democrats? Where are the pro-blacks on the left defending Jasmine Crockett from what's happening to her in the Democratic Party? Again, James Talarico is not a Republican, not a conservative. He is a Democrat, an anti-Trump Democrat, a never-Trump Democrat. These are Democrats doing this to another Democrat. It's pretty dirty, but obviously they want one person to be the nominee on their side because they feel like he has the best chance of being able to win. That's the bottom line. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.